My fellow gamers, what's going on? It's B Chambers from Alloy7.com with yet another video review, and this time around I'm doing Terraria for the Xbox 360, specifically Xbox Live Arcade. And this is a review that I've been really excited about because I've wanted to play Terraria since reading about it back when it came out on PC. And I'm happy to report that, bottom line up front, this is an excellent game, and I'll go ahead and tell you that if the categories I cover today are categories that you are very strong in, that you should absolutely go ahead and purchase this game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and I'll give you kind of a brief overview. Terraria is essentially a 16-bit 2D version of Minecraft. So, you know, in Minecraft, you basically have the freedom to explore the world, create and destroy things to your heart's content. There's also an adventure mode where you can go play with friends, but also experience monsters to fight and a host of different things to accomplish within the game. There's no real story to speak of. The narrative in this game is really what you make. There's not a whole lot of NPC or character interaction, but it is a very enjoyable game. So with that said, let's go ahead and talk about the categories of gamers who I believe will enjoy Terraria the most. And really, in the case of this review, these are the categories who I believe cannot afford to miss Terraria. Okay, so let's kick things off with the Explorer category. If you're an Explorer, I can very comfortably say to you that you cannot afford to pass on playing Terraria. If you haven't already played it on PC, that is. The amount of open world to discover and the sheer amount of things that you can do and build is unmatched by any Xbox Live Arcade game that I've ever played, and that's of course aside from Minecraft. And now, with that said, as much freedom as there is in this game, there is a flip side. So on the flip side, some of you more casual explorers may find that Terraria gives you a bit too much freedom. And you may have trouble focusing on a given task or adventure because you can literally spend hours building a house or just running through the countryside. So again, this is a game that gives you an ultimate amount of freedom, so bear that in mind and assess where you are in terms of being an explorer and the way you approach your game. Okay, so next up, let's talk about builders. And much like explorers, if you are a builder, if you fall into our builder category, this is, again, a game that I feel that you cannot pass up. I even would go so far as to say that I believe the folks that made this game are probably builders themselves, because it just speaks to the heart of those of you that like to customize things and build and make weapons and do all of those types of games. I literally spent hours in this game just building my house and adding customization to it and customizing weapons and things of that nature. And just so you know, in terms of me, builder and explorer are probably my two strongest categories as a gamer. And Terraria, even in the first week that it's come out, I've probably put 50 hours of my life just into playing it since launch. And there's so much to do and see. Like I said, you could spend hours just farming the resources it takes to build better equipment, to build augmentations to your home, and things of that nature. The world is literally there for you to destruct and reconstruct as you see fit. So if you enjoy customizing things, once again, a game you cannot pass on. All right, next let's talk about Action Junkies. So, as much as Terraria focuses on exploring the vast world and building new homes, weapons, and other items, there's also a good bit of action in the form of fighting enemies, from common monsters, even all the way up to crazy boss fights with giant skeletons and things of that nature. Action may not be the main focus, but there is plenty of it and plenty of bad guys strewn about the world for you to get into conflict with. With that in mind, though, know that Terraria will often throw enemies at you at what will feel like very inopportune times. Some gamers may find it annoying to be attacked by a zombie horde while you're trying to mine gold. Also, the interface that the game gives you to select your tools and your weapons can encumber your ability to fight in certain situations. None of these situations are game breaking or annoying to the point where you won't enjoy your experience, but they do pop up fairly regularly, and they will be probably seen as minor annoyances if you're the type of person who likes to focus on what you're doing. So if like your whole goal was to go out and mine some gold and it's nighttime and 14 zombies come up the cave shaft and start attacking you, it happens quite a bit, and it can be kind of annoying and pull you out of the action or pull you out of what you're trying to do. But know that even for as much as the game focuses on exploration and building, there is a good bit of action there for you folks who are more action junkie types. Now, with that said, I wouldn't say that if action junkie is your strongest suit, this is not a game that's a must-have. The must-have category really addresses the explorers and the builders out there. I wanted to make that distinction, even though I'm talking about the game catering to action junkies in this case. Okay, so to wrap up the categories, let's talk about our collaborators, our audiophiles, and our visualists. And first, collaborators can find a home with Terraria with the game's online co-op and player versus player systems. Having friends along for the ride can make some of the more tedious building segments a lot more enjoyable, and also some of the more difficult boss battles more manageable. And then if you get bored with the building and the boss fighting, you can always just turn on each other and start beating the crap out of each other with all of the different equipment that you've made to see who's the best. You can also trade equipment. So some of your friends are obviously going to have explored the world and found a really rare item, or maybe two of them, like I found two of these really sweet boomerangs. And if you're in a game with a friend, you can give him one of those, and you can trade the different types of things that you find and create within your games. Also, for you audiophiles and visualists out there, you will be treated to a hyper colorful 16-bit retro buffet, as well as an intoxicating soundtrack that adjusts as you explore the world. Okay, so let's wrap up. Overall, I feel like I can't say enough good things about Terraria. I was really looking forward to playing it, as I said earlier in the review, and I am very happy to report that I was not disappointed in any way. I'm actually still playing the game, still enjoying it a very good deal. And if our builder and our explorer categories are who you are as a gamer, once again, this is a game I recommend to you, and I would go so far as to say that you cannot afford to pass on it if you really want to have a good game on Xbox Live Arcade. And once again, I appreciate you guys listening and watching. I'd ask that you subscribe and give us a like. And if you've played the game, as always, please leave us some commentary about your experience, because that helps us give a more comprehensive picture to other folks that come to watch this review. They can not only hear my opinion and my take and my look at the game, but they can hear what you have to say. And once again, thank you very much. Oh, and for how we actually run our reviews, if you want to see how the system works, I always place a link to our category review system in the video description. Once again, thank you much, good people, fellow gamers. This is Beat Chambers signing off. Until the next one, peace and Godspeed.
Alloy 7.